some company specializing in advertisement and marketing. They asked them what would be the best book to give to new people. So they read our books. You know, they took money for reading our books, and I forgot, it was either the UK or Ireland, either in the UK or in I think it was in the UK that they did the study. So they read our books, and then they said that the best book for distributing on the street to the new people is this Nectar of Instruction. Strangely enough, even though it looks like it's a book for the devotees, for the practitioners, they said no, it's a very good book to distribute in the street. It's an excellent book to distribute in the street because it gives very specific instructions, gives very clear direction what to do, and it explains from the beginning to the top goal. So sometimes you can see we have in some, like for example, it says previous printing 50,000 copies, current printing 52,000 copies. So hundreds of copies were printed from the beginning. First time Srila Prabhupada translated this book, they said, so Srila Prabhupada, should we print like just a few thousand? Prabhupada said, no, print 100,000 for book distribution. So that's a very special book. It says that once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell into ecstasy, running up a dune. You know what's a dune? It's a sand hill. Sand hill. Well, I think there was some book, The Dune, right? Herbert something. Movie. Yeah, The Dune. Yeah, so that's a sand hill. It's a big sand hill. So near Jagannath Puri there is one big sand hill. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ran up the sand hill, thinking that this is the Govardhan hill. Thank you for the support. Hare Krishna.
She's giving you blessings.
Thank you. No, it's okay. It's okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And he went into trance. You know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes would like disappear. It says he was in 3 states of consciousness: inner, outer, and in between. So then he came out, and they say that he explained the essence of all instruction, Upadesha Amrita. Amrita is nectar, also means essence, the most important part. Upadesha Amrita, Upadesha Amrita, the essence of all instruction, as we will hear in verse 8. To Rupa Goswami in these 11 verses. So it's a super nice book. You just have 11 verses and you know everything. It sounds like a very good deal, right? Like, zip archiving something, like whoop, and then easy to carry. Small book, all knowledge. But we'll probably read one Bhagavatam verse from the first purport, just because it's the Bhagavatam time, to honor Srimad Bhagavatam. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari, Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari, Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Jamuna Tira Vanachari, Jamuna Tira Vanachari, Jamunate Ravanachari, Jamunate Ravanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurminitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. My respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are like desire trees, capable of fulfilling every desire, and who are your oceans of mercy. Kripa sindhubhya eva cha. Yasya prasadadagyupi sadhya sarvagyatam vrajetsa Shri Chaitanya Devame Bhagavan Samprasidatu. May Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, be fully merciful unto me by His grace. A complete fool can get all knowledge in one moment. Vande Nantadbhutaishwaryam Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhum Nichopyat Prasadasyat Bhakti Shastra Pravartaka. My respectful obeisances unto the infinitely powerful Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy the most fallen person can become a teacher of Bhakti Sastri. This Madhya Lila 25:1. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhata Raghunatha Shri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunatha Echai Gurur Karan Charanavandan Jahoite Vignanash Abhishta Puran. One who offers obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, unto these gurus, 6 gurus, removes all obstacles and fulfills all the highest desires. Also Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that's how Srila Prabhupada begins his purport here. That the 6 Goswamis are the direct disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Do we have a questionnaire or something?
Yes, we will. I will send the the preparation questions, and then the exam will be from these questions. There will be like 8 or 9 questions for the exam, about 10 questions for the exam at the end for the Bhakti Sastri certificate. All right, so I hope you have this book, everybody. If you don't have, please get this book. Of course, nowadays you can read online also. You can see there is a nice kutir.
Can we ask questions at any time? Or
You can, you can sort of lift your hand or finger, and then I will finish whatever thought I have, and then you can ask at any time. Raise your hand, then I will know that somebody has a question. So, because it's the Bhagavatam, let's read. This second verse here in the first purport, which begins Prabhupada's purport here. This is from Canto 6, Chapter 1, and this is verse 10. Yes. Kachin nivartate bhadrat, nivartate bhadrat, kachicharati tatpuna, kachicharati tatpuna, prayashchitam atho partha, prayashchitam atho partha, manye kunjara shauchavat. Okay. So, Parikshit Maharaj compared atonement, some religious atonement, religious expiation, religious paying for some sins, to an elephant's bathing. The elephant may take a very nice bath in the river, but as soon as it comes onto the bank, it throws dirt all over its body. So then sometimes people stop abhadra, stop sinful activities, and sometimes start again. So therefore, such external atonement is like the bathing of an elephant. Kunjara shauchat. So that's the difference between karma and bhakti, between karma and bhakti methods. So these books and the Nectar of Instruction is the essence of the spiritual instruction, all instruction, the Nectar of Instruction, give us the full description of the method of bhakti. Please read, at least go through the purports every day before the class. We will have for the next 6 days. We will have the morning 6 days, right? We will have the morning Bhagavatam time. We will have our meetings, and in the evening, Govinda Prabhu. Should we do this at the Gita time, or should we maybe have it a little earlier? Did you think about this? Like,
if you need extra time, you could start at 5 p.m. also.
5 p.m.
But of course, for some people it might be inconvenient, so it's most people easier to attend
At 7.
during
Gita
Gita time.
time, yes.
Would do them both, or only before and then Gita not anymore?
I was thinking only before, so that people can.
Have Bhagavad Gita as well. Then as well, yeah. That would be Bhakti Shastra and then Bhagavad Gita as well. I think better just Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
There's too many lectures and less time during the day.
And we can start sharp, I mean...
Before 7.
7 to 8, 1 hour. We can, 8:15 sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So you need 1 hour in the evening and 1 hour in the morning?
10 hours altogether.
So evening 7. Who will be here evening at 7?
All of us.
Evening at 7. Okay. All right. Looks like for most people it's good. Good. Thank you. Okay. You know Nikhilananda Prabhu? I think he left his body here, and he lived his last. He said his mother was Ukrainian. He said he understands. I spoke to him in Ukrainian. He said he understands Ukrainian. And he was a very special soul, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, very brave. You know, he was preaching in some in the Middle East. Yeah, he said many times he was led under the gun somewhere out to the desert, and he would start joking and talk about Krishna, and then distribute books in the Middle East in the 70s and in the 80s in, I think, Lebanon, and where else? But yeah, so that's at the wartime, in war zones. Anyway, so he was a brave man, but he said that when this book appeared, he was delaying reading it for a long time. Why? Because he thought it's too scary. He said so many rules here. So if he reads all the rules, he thought it's too much. How to attain proper progress and success in Krishna consciousness. So these are 11 verses. I remember first time I got, actually I think this exact edition, as I was in a brahmacharya ashram. I was going in a bus to distribute books, to the Sankirtan book distribution, and then I was reading this book, and as I was reading I was thinking, wow, everything is described. So do this, what are the positive things that this book recommends? Somebody remembers in verse 3? Utsaha nishaya daryat. Yes, these are the first 3 verses. That's verse 3. Utsaha means enthusiasm, Begeisterung. And nishaya, confidence, yes, fixed faith. Dharyat, patience, being steady, yes. So this is what you do. And what you don't do, what's not helpful? Asatsanga, yes. Atyahara, overeating, yes. Prayasa, yes, excessive materialistic or external endeavor. So it's very common sense, very clear, but also very precise. So I remember first I read it, I thought, wow, so clear. Just do this, don't do this, and you will advance like a rocket. Whoo, and you will advance very nicely. Very clear. So that's why this book also is recommended. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his commentary to this book, he says that we have 2 kinds of instructions, positive and negative. And he says that some devotees who don't like to be disciplined on this and careful on this path will see this book as a very, very severe and heavy teacher who's saying, oh, do this, don't do this. And it will look very dangerous, this book, even scary. But, he said, if you have, for those who have faith, for those who actually have trust in Krishna, in Bhakti, in Krishna consciousness, and who are serious, they will very quickly and easily, he says, they will quickly and easily attain Bhava Bhakti, ecstatic love, and then Prema Bhakti, with the help of this book. So this book helps us to advance very nicely and quickly, properly. So therefore he says, I'm writing my commentary, Anuvriti, to help everybody become absorbed in the nectar of Bhakti Rasa Amrita, in the nectar of Bhakti Rasa. Srila Prabhupada, in the short and sweet preface, describes several points about following in the footsteps of the 6 Goswamis. So Goswami means, what's the meaning of the word Goswami? Master of the cows, like here, right? You have cows, so you're a Goswami. Yesterday we saw a Goswami on a tractor there. Yes? What else does it mean? Senses, okay. What does it mean to be the master of the senses? Are we all Goswamis? We all have senses, right? So you're all Goswamis. Yes, Prabhu? You're able to control them, yeah. How do we want to control our senses and the mind? The mind also is included. The senses and the mind. The mind is the most powerful. Yes, focusing them on Krishna, directing our senses to Krishna. Okay, So this is what Prabhupada mentions here, that controlling the mind and the senses for advancing to sattva gun. You can see that here Prabhupada says that one must promote himself to the platform of goodness sattva gun by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami, and then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. So how to make further progress in sattva gun is revealed. And then there is a very interesting statement about advancement. He says, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the, and now a very important word. Advancement, do we want to advance in Krishna consciousness? So our advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude. The attitude. Wie steht es in Deutsch? In Deutsch? Haltung? Okay, Haltung. Yes. Verhaltung, yes. So attitude, the mood, inner state, your intentions. So not only external action, not only with the external body, but actually your mood, attitude or mood. So in this third verse, we have three attitudes. Yeah? Enthusiasm, utsahan, nishchaya, conviction, and dharyat, steady patience, being steadily patient. So these are, and in the first verse, the mood, anybody remembers from the first verse, what is the mood of the practitioner? I can attain everything. Aha, okay, so for, you have to, yeah. Sanjay Prabhu? Dhira, okay, Dhira, yes, thank you. Jai, Shri Prahlad Nrsimhadev ki jai.
There's a few devotees online hearing, so if
Oh,
if
right,
we,
okay, yeah.
if they're interactive, it would be nice if we give the microphone around,
Action.
and otherwise, like half
Yeah,
the
they
class,
can
we they won't hear.
Thank you. Subal Gopal Prabhu? Okay. Yes, Subal Gopal Prabhu?
Also self-control. Dharma.
Self-control, yes. Sanjay Prabhu, can you see how does this dhira come in translation, in the translation? Vitoy, you have...
In the translation, it's called sober.
Sober, yeah, a sober man or person. How does it go? Yeah, sober person. Huh? Yes. Mm-hmm. So a sober person who does what? A sober person who can tolerate. A sober person who can tolerate, yeah, the urges. So you have the six urges that one can tolerate. So that's also the attitude. The attitude that is important, that's emphasized here by Rupa Goswami, that will help us advance nicely in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so again, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude. Attitude, yes. For memorization, we have the first three verses. Let us chant the first verse and then read the translation together. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam udarupasta vegam etam vegam yogishaheta dhira sarvam apimam pritivi sasrishyat. And those with the English, let's read the translation together. A sober person who, let's read together. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Yes. including Bavaria. You can go around and you say, see, I'm sober and I'm not angry. Hare Krishna. Nice book. You think so? Now what? She'll take the book?
No, because you moved the cup, now she's in the cup.
Ah, still the cup. Okay. Yes. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. She'll be a good lecturer, right? She's preparing for the lecturing. Okay, so this book leads from the very beginning to the topmost goal, to the highest attainment. So what is our highest goal? What is our highest attainment? What will you say? Krishna Prema, yes, Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema in, what's the highest mood of Krishna Prema? Where? Gopi, separation. And who is the highest Gopi? Radharani. And what is her most sacred place? So, Shri Radhakund is our highest goal. Yes, in the last verses it will say that this is the lake filled with prema, filled with love. So it's a secret, but this is a secret gathering, so we all know that this is where we want. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Shyam. Yes. So this book is like a map, actually beginning from the very beginning and leading us to the highest goal. So we will just have a short preview of this whole path. So here we have Shri Radhakund filled with prema. Radhakund, Radharani's, Srimati Radharani's devotional blessings onto all of us, that we can attain the highest perfection. So that's the path. But it begins. This path begins. We have just read in the first verse that this path begins not in some external place, but it begins with the 6 Vegas flowing inside our heart. And in Sanskrit, Vega or urge is like a strong current. Have you ever swum in a strong current? Like in the Ganga, you go into the current and whoo, it carries you away. Who has been swimming in strong? Who is swimming in rivers? Who has swum in rivers? Okay, you've swum in rivers. Donau here, is Donau fast? Is Donau strong? Do we swim in Donau here? Okay. So these are like 6 Vegas flowing in the heart, very strong current. So we have 6 urges. So that's verse 1. And the entry is, it's a secret door under this current. So we begin yeah, seize the opportunity as soon as you can. That's very practical. Haribo! Hare Krishna. So this is verse 1. So that's where we begin our path, inside our heart. She likes to lecture, huh? Sometimes you can't get a person to give a lecture. She's only learning to talk, and she's already talking from the. So it begins by our being able to tolerate the 6 urges. Not, it's very interesting. You may note it doesn't say stopping the 6 urges. Like it's not about stopping the river, but it's about not falling into the current, right? Maybe you know that if you have a whirlpool, or if you have a what do you call it, a riptide, like in a sea. Like if you have, sometimes you have a shallow place in the sea, and then the water flows out into the sea very quickly in some spot. So it seems that it carries you very quickly out into the sea. So what are you supposed to do? You know what you're supposed to do? Go into the river? To the side, right. Not against the current, because it's very strong. Oftentimes you can't defeat. But swim to the side. Like, you know, if there is a strong current from there, I should not swim against the current. I should swim like to the side to get out of this strong riptide. And then, because it's only usually like a few meters wide, this strong current. Then if you swim to the side, then from the side you can peacefully go back to the shore most of the cases. So in other words, it's not about stopping the current. It's not about stopping the mind. Prabhupada says we cannot kill desires. We are not supposed to kill the senses. We don't want to kill the senses. We don't want to kill the desires. Desires is the sign of life, Prabhupada says. It's about directing them, connecting them to Krishna. So here also these urges, we are not trying to kill them, we are just trying not to drown and to connect everything to Krishna. So that's why Prabhupada, Vishaheta and Rupa Goswami, that's why Rupa Goswami says one who can tolerate. You are sober, yeah. Most people who drown in the sea are drunk, right, usually. So you have to be sober, and then you have to tolerate. In other words, you're able not to become infatuated by these urges, not to identify with these urges. Anyway, this is a short. This is where it begins. You understand. I'm not the urge. I'm not anger. I'm not the mind. I'm not the tongue. I'm not the belly, and so forth. So this is where you begin. So in other words, instead of flowing somewhere with these urges, you enter inside and then you move. And then the second verse says, very nice, now you are moving. So here, be careful. Here are the 6 poisonous herbs. So we have 6, that's verse 2. 6, so that's verse 2. And we have the 6 dangerous. That's describing the 6 poisons that may even look similar to some good or helpful activity, but it can be toxic. So we are getting a warning. Be careful. These are the 6 poisons. Prajalpa and Atyahara. Even maybe you have this experience. Even some nice prasadam. Sometimes you're very Krishna conscious, and then you feel your belly like this, and somehow Krishna consciousness gets reduced. Did you have this experience sometimes? Even nice prasadam, everything is nice. It's in the temple and everything is good, but sometimes it sort of creates difficulties. Prayasa, or even good endeavor, like Bhakti Maharaj is saying that one evening he says, I was feeling so much enthusiasm, and I thought maybe that's my success. I'm fully Krishna conscious, so maybe I should just go on working the whole night. So he says, I was working the whole night or many hours. And then after many hours, I got so tired that for 3 days after that, I was switched off. Yeah, so it's the over endeavor, even in something good, even in service, over endeavoring, and then it goes into the other side, sort of from passion to ignorance. Yes. Atyahara prayasasha parajalpo niyamagraha, or niyamagraha, like another poison. It's following the rule, not following the rules, niyama agraha, or niyama agraha, following the rules blindly without understanding why, what's the purpose. Any questions here? Sanjay, Prabhu? Sanjay? Yes.
I'm very hesitant because it relates to what you said before singing. And you spoke about Lord Chaitanya. You spoke about Lord Chaitanya speaking in the Nectar of Instruction. Where is that recorded that he spoke?
It's I heard it from Giriraj Maharaj. I don't think it's ever recorded. It's not like we don't have this clearly described, but we do know that Rupa Goswami is one of his main. We are all Rupanugas, and he's the main theoretician, or he's our how we call it, father of the doctrine. Rupa Goswami describes our full philosophy very nicely, which he got from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mostly he got it in Prayag. For 10 days, he got his Bhakti Sastri for 10 days in Prayag, but also he did come to Jagannath Puri, and he was accompanying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was hearing what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling. So there is some story about, some devotees are saying like this. I heard it from Giriraj Maharaj. It's not in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, not in Chaitanya Bhagavata, not, what else we have? Not in Chaitanya Mangala. So in other words, it's some, not in the main biographies. But I probably should have said that some devotees say that that's how it happened. We don't know for sure, but apparently it's quite possible that that's what happened. Something else about this? Okay, so this is the path. Then we have the 6 poisons, but then we have the six healing herbs. Yeah, we have the 6 charms, 6 antidotes, healing herbs, almost like magic herbs. You know, like you eat and you get power, you get energy, you get clear consciousness. Superfood, or yeah. So these are so let's make like this. Six superfoods that help us advance very nicely on this path. So that's verse 3, the attitudes. The 6 helping things in verse 3 that help you overcome the obstacles and move forward very nicely. So that's good association, following the prescribed methods of the devotional service, 64 methods and 9 methods and so forth. Good association, following the path of the Mahajans. And now the next one, we have 3 verses about devotee relationships. It's quite interesting. So this was 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and 6 describes relationships between us on 3 levels. So verse 4 describes what? Yes. So exchanges. So verse 4 describes verse 4, that's the 6 exchanges. How shall we? Okay, so let's make it. 6 exchanges. Okay, so let's. And you have the 6 exchanges. So in Hindi they say adan pradan. Adan exchange is adan pradan. Yes, give and take. Give and take. Adan pradan. So it's the 6 exchanges. Give prasadam, take prasadam. Give gifts and take gifts. Tell something confidential and hear some trustworthy discussions. So these are 6 ways how the love is increased. So that's the first level. Then, so that what helps you, you need good company on this path, and this is how you keep this good company. Then verse 5 describes how you treat the 3 categories of devotees. Shall I maybe put shikas here, right? Shikas or ladies, yeah, like this. So this is how you offer obeisances to different devotees. Yes. So that's verse 5. Respect. And etiquette. So you can say respect outside. And then in this next verse, it's like a mountain pass, important mountain pass, that almost is like a shraga. It's like a, if you pass through here, then you are really successful. It's you're going up, and then from here it will go much easier. What is this mountain pass? This is what once Banu Maharaj, from whom I studied the Nectar of Instruction for the first time, how he describes this. So this mountain pass here, that's verse. This is verse 6. And this mountain pass, because in verse 7 we hear about the nectar of the holy name. So it's like a magic potion, magic nectar of the holy name, right? So it's magical holy name. So he says why the nectar is described, the nectar of the holy name is described only in verse 7. He says maybe it means that before we can uncork, open this magical nectar for ourselves, we have to learn how to respect, and we have to also even learn how to have the proper vision, how to see devotees, not only how to externally behave, but even internally how we respect other devotees. Therefore, only after you have this internal mood or attitude of respect, only after that you can really get the full nectar. So Bhanuswami was giving this interesting observation, that the nectar of the holy name, our main process, the holy name, will be fully successful when we cross this verse 6 and we learn to see devotees with proper spiritual vision. So in our heart, so you can say inside our heart we have our vision. We have our vision and we see them lovingly. We see all devotees lovingly. Not looking at the external things, but looking at the internal devotional nature with respect. Whether high or low, we see them lovingly. Understanding that the main thing is that the devotee wants to do loving service to Krishna. When we develop this, when we don't look at the external characteristics, but we look at the internal essence, that these are devotees, this is a devotee. And we have this, we have Master Drishtai Sabhava Janitar Vapushascha Dosha Na Prakritatam Iha Bhakta Janasya Pashit. When one doesn't look at the Bhakta Jana devotees from the point of view of material dosha, material defects, either body or even Swabhava, even character faults, because sometimes you may have some bad character through some, external circumstances, not because the person is bad. So after that, we get the nectar of the holy name, and then we get the nectar of the holy name, and that's verse 8 already. So verse 8. This is where you get the real. So from here, you don't have to walk. You already go with the flow. Here we finally get the Raganuga path described, the path of the spontaneous taste. We finally get the essence of all advice in verse 8. And this is following in the footsteps of the Brijbasis. So we get the footsteps of the Brijbasis and we follow. And this is easy. It's like we are getting into the flow, and then it is going much faster and much happier with the nectar of the holy name and with the spontaneous taste and attraction, the secret treasure of our sampradaya, the spontaneous Braja Bhakti, going to the Radhakund, to the holy place. And then we have verses 9, 8, and 10. Verse 9 describes the hierarchy of the holy places, like you get different mountains described in some guides. So verse 9 describes what is higher and higher. 9 is the hierarchy where to do of places. Then verse 10, hierarchy of processes and devotees.
That's verse
10. Karmim yajadito, higher than karma, who is more and more dear to Krishna, practicing this, practicing that. And verse 11, describing the ecstatic glory of Radhakund and Radharani's service and prema. So that's the highest. So you can see it leads us to the very special treasure of Radhakund. In my childhood, I found a book in my father's library. It was the book of the list of скарбів війська Запорозького. There was a republic of warriors on river Dnipro. So they were hiding some gold in different places. So in this book you read that you go to the village of old church, or forest church village, and then there from the church you go north 100 steps, then you turn west and you go 10 steps, and then you dig 3 steps down, and there are 2 pots with golden coins, and there is 127 golden coins. and you read about it, and you read this, and you think, my God, I should go to this, forest church village and try to find this gold. Actually, first time I was here, Nikhilananda Prabhu, when we were driving back to Waldkirchen, he showed some village on the way between here and Munich, and he said one farmer, he was farming his field, and one day he found some buttons, like from a shirt in his field, big buttons. He started checking, and then they looked funny, so he took them to a jeweler in a city, and the jeweler said they are Celtic coins. And then he started looking, and he found these coins that he sold for something like 5 million euros. The treasure was worth 5 million. It was like 15 years ago or 17 years ago. Some of you may remember. Somewhere not so far from here. So it sounds like the dream of everybody, right? You just walk, and then boom, some treasure is there, and you sell, and 5 million euros, right? You can do so many nice things with this money if you do this for Krishna. But you need a map, specific map for the treasure, which says you move here, and on this side there is danger. Be careful, do not disturb the poison. Here is something that is helpful. That's how you open. This is the code, how to open. This is how you can use it. This is how you can wash it. This is a precise map leading all the way to the Radhakund, because Radhakund is not a material place. So Vrindavan, Govardhan, Radhakund, we have this also in this world. We can go geographically to get blessings, but to really reach, we have to move also inside. Not only outside, but also inside, by developing the proper attitude, and even more difficult, this attitude towards other devotees, towards fellow devotees. And then we will get the nectar, and then we will fly or flow or swim, or there will be a nice boat ride, and we will go to the happiest, sweetest treasure place in all the universes and all the worlds, the Shri Radhakund. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, some questions or comments here? Where is our wandering mic?
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. Did Rupa Goswami only compile the 11 verses, or he also commented on it? Or is the purport just from Prabhupada?
We have and acharyas. We have one Goswami from the Radharaman temple, old Radharaman Goswami, actually. That's how the commentary is called. Old commentary. We have Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary, and we have Bhaktisiddhantaji's commentary. So we have three, and Srila Prabhupada's commentary. So we have these main commentaries. Rupa Goswami did not much comment. Also, it's very interesting. Many verses here are famous. Like they are not really Rupa Goswami's verses, because this was Rupa Goswami's super talent, superpower. He knew all the verses from all the Shastras. So therefore, if there was a verse that already speaks what he has to say, he would not create a new verse. He would find the Shastric verse and quote this Shastric verse. So this is also the case here, that he, verse 1 is from the Mahabharata. Bhishma says this, verse 1, about the 6 Vegas. Verse 2 and 3 is from Hatha Yoga Pradipika. You will find the same verse in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Exact same verse, only the last two syllables are slightly different. Verse 4 you will find in the funny book Panchatantra, the five baskets of nice animal fairy tales. And this is how to make friends. The exact same words, completely, like Priti Lakshanam. Everything is exact same verse. Have you read Panchatantra? It's a nice storybook, yeah, for children. Which? Panchatantra. Yeah, Pancha. 2-3 Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Yeah, except that there it says Yoga Prasidati, Yoga Pranashati, and here it says Bhakti Prasidati, Bhakti Pranashati. So otherwise everything else is the same. And so our Brijbasi from Kiev, he was investigating, and he found all these verses. I found only the Panchatantra and Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and he found also the first one in the Mahabharata. And the others, Krishneti Yasyagiri Tam Manasadriyata, that's number 5, 6. I mean, the rest, that's Rupa Goswami apparently. I don't think, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami. But because these are like generic instructions, so therefore Rupa Goswami just took them ready-made. It's already there, so he took it. No problem. Some other points here? Questions, comments? Okay, so how about we lower our head and go down like this and say yes, and then yes, and then you make, and you even stand up. You know, that's the idea of the Hatha Yoga. Like for example, if you stand like this, try standing like this. Like open your back, and you say, "I'm very depressed." Doesn't work, huh? Yeah. Very difficult. Yeah. And try like this and say, I am very happy. Also doesn't work. Okay, so let's open the arms and say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Okay. One of our devotees, Advaita Das, Dr. Edwin Bryant, translates the word sadhana with an interesting word, quest. Have you heard this word, quest? Quest. Now it's for the birthday. I once got the quest room visit. It's like you go into the quest room and there is tips and you have to find some treasure, read another hint and find another thing, and then you find the key and you save the world or something. The classic quest is the knights of the round King Arthur's knights trying to find the Holy Grail, you know, the magic cup that also saves the world. So the quest is like a noble pursuit, a noble adventure to find something super important and super sacred. That's a quest. Yeah? Usually it's difficult to translate. They just use the same word, a quest. They don't even translate this word, quest. It's similar to question, but quest is like not for the information, just some information answer, but for some special achievement. Adventurous, very noble, sometimes dangerous. So this is also our quest. Yeah, this is our quest. But so there is dangers, there is challenges, there are tests, heavy tests. We can go again and again. Sometimes. But in a quest, there are many requirements, but one requirement is the most important. For the quest, the main thing you need is faith, yes. A map, yes. Companions, yes. Determination, yes. Patience, yes. Attitude, yes. Huh? Enthusiasm, yes. Food and water, yes. The goal, yes. You have to have the goal, right? This is like the quest is always towards a goal. Also, this is how our sadhana is defined. Kriti sadhya, sadhya bhava, sa sadhana bhavet. This is Rupa Goswami's verse that sadhana, the noble pursuit, the noble endeavor, the noble adventurous journey, is for a perfection. And this perfection, sadhya, is sadhya bhava. This is ecstatic love for Krishna. That's our goal that we want to attain. So in Bengali, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami translates this as Krishna prema, nitya siddha Krishna prema, sadhya kabunoi. That Krishna prema is always natural, at the natural goal in your heart. Shravanadi Shudachita Koroye Udoy. When we purify the heart by hearing about Krishna, then this prema is Udoy, is rising like the sun in the morning. So the goal. Now, your pursuit of the Bhakti Sastri degree and Bhakti Sastri knowledge and Bhakti Sastri expertise and skills is also dependent on the purposes that you may have. So why do we need to tolerate the urges of the mind and the tongue and so forth? Why do we need to pass all the tests and all of this? So why do we want to have this knowledge? And what actually is your goal? So we need to have the goal, and then we can create the map, and then it's pretty certain that we can achieve success if you have the goal, clear goal, as specific as possible, and also then we need the map how to get there. Sometimes the quickest way is not the straight way. Sometimes you have to go around the mountain, and then it'll be the quickest way to attain it. Any questions here? Yes.
My question is Hare Krishna. My question is if you could repeat again why our goal is ecstatic love for Krishna.
Why is it our goal?
Yeah.
Well, we basically have three options. One option is to try to find material pleasure in this world. Yes, that's one option. Material success. The other option is to give up all material pleasures and get liberation. Get freedom, right? That's the second option. And the third option is neither enjoy nor reject, but get to know the boss and have the friendly fun with the boss. The boss happens to be a very funny cowherd boy. I mean, that's his profession he chose for himself. He was considering, he had a long time to decide which profession he will pursue, and he decided that herding cows is the best fun, is the best profession. the pay is good, milk is nice, milk, butter and yogurt is very good, paneer. So for the whole eternity, he's herding cows. And he's inviting us, not because he needs people to milk the cows or sell the butter, but because he likes picnics and he likes dancing. So he wants company. He says, hey guys, come back, let's have fun, let's go for a picnic, let's go dance, right? So you can join. Either, Bhakti Maharaj is joking that Krishna likes cows, go brahmana hitayacha. So to be dear to Krishna, you have to become either a brahmana or a cow. And probably becoming a brahmana is a little more practical. We could become a cow, but it'll take a little time till the next body. So these are the three options: enjoy, reject, and be free, or have loving fun with the Supreme Lord. Take your pick. And there also you can have, like this in awe and reverence. Like Gop Kumar was trained, he came to the Vaikuntha and he saw Narayan and they said, "Hey Gopal!" And everybody said, "What are you doing? No, you don't do like this. No. No, you offer nice hymns, fold your hands and be fully respectful." Even though Narayan himself did not expect this from Gop Kumar in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. He said, "Oh Gop Kumar, for so many lifetimes I was waiting for you. I thought, oh when this nice person will turn to me." So I thought, if you just do one Vedic ritual, I will use this as a pretext and I will take you back home. But you never did anything. So then finally I put you near Govardhan and I came to you as your Guru Jayanta and I gave you the Gopal mantra. And now you're back. I'm so happy. So Lord Narayan, he was dressing for 375 spiritual months and years as a cowherd boy. Narayan was dressing as a cowherd boy. He was carrying the flute, and he was he dressed all his retinue as cowherd boys, and he was taking everybody for a picnic, just to make Gop Kumar happy. So that's Narayan. That's Narayan. When he came to Ayodhya to Lord Ram, and he was already trained, don't be respectful. So he came and he said, "Oh, Shri Ram, Namo Nama." Ramachandra said, "Gop Kumar, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Come, sit, we are friends." He told to Gop Kumar. Yes, and what did Krishna do? He embraced Gop Kumar and fainted. And all the gopis looked, "Oh, some demon, maybe that's some demon, attacking our Lord." Only Balaram said, No, this is our friend. So he took Gop Kumar's hands, and with his hands he started massaging Krishna's body, and then Krishna came to his senses. He took Gop Kumar to his mother Yashoda, and Radharani was making nice laddus in the kitchen, and they got these nice laddus, and Krishna took a laddu, he bit the laddu, and he made the face, "Ooh," and he gave it to Gop Kumar. And Gop Kumar thought, "What is this?" So he took this laddu, and he, why did he, make a face? And Radharani is looking from the kitchen, and "Oh," Krishna made the face. "My God, did I mix sugar with salt or something? What's wrong with this laddu?" And Gop Kumar is taking this laddu, he's tasting, "Oh, it's like heaven, it's like, tastes like, incredible bliss." So that was Krishna's joke, he made a joke on on everybody. So it looks like fun, right? So that's probably better than just enjoying or renouncing.
I would like to ask, you talked about that the straight path is not always the quickest way, and could you maybe explain that in general in spiritual life? Because normally when I see the straight path, I think that might be the best option, but if there's some other option, how can this be better or quicker? Okay,
for example, we know more rounds is better, right? like chanting many rounds of the Hare Krishna japa. It looks like the straight path, very clear. And when you begin chanting, I remember when I started chanting, I couldn't stop at 16, because 16 the fun only began. It was just getting sweet. My temple president immediately said that don't take a vow to chant many rounds, because then you will be, when there is a lot of service, you'll be stuck, you'll be chanting into the night. So, don't take a vow to chant like 25 or 30, because I did it and that was not practical. And still I remember that 64 is good. So one Ekadashi, I had free, no service, so I went in Dmitrievska, we had pear gardens, some pear was there, some field, some, like not many people. So I took my japa and I went chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So because all my previous experience was the more the better, right? So 25 was good. 32 was okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, yes. Now 38 and 40 was not so good rounds. And about 50 rounds, it was like, chewing sand or stones, like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, I couldn't believe. It's the same. Is this the same sweet mantra that, why is it so bad? What's wrong with the mantra, with me? Maybe that's bad. Maybe I talked to these devotees. Maybe that's bad association. I don't know. What was it? So it's like, it seems to be the straight path, but when you try to do too much too quickly, I was a very, very young devotee, so I didn't have either practice or capacity or experience of chanting and meditating, and so therefore this idea, it's the correct idea, 64 is good. And I know many devotees who chant 64 every day and do more service than everybody else. And they also have time for sleeping too. So sometimes these things are good, but if you are not prepared, if you do not build the strength, or like in training, if you try to lift too much, you will injure yourself and you will not be able to lift anything for some time. So therefore you have to gradually build your capacity. Like 64 rounds, for example. If you try to do this immediately in the first few months, sometimes it becomes really bitter and tasteless. So you have to build gradually. Yeah? Okay? All right. So, this is our map. We need to have the goal. Now, we all know that we chant without offenses to quickly attain the goal of life. The goal of life is? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You coming in the evening? Okay. Okay. Thanks for coming. Hare Krishna. We will probably go to something like 9:15 every day. Slightly longer than 9. Today? So 9:15 is okay in general?
9:15 is okay, we just need to make sure that those who are in the Bhakti Sastri course are not serving prasadam then. Yeah, but I mean for today
It's just 7 more minutes. We'll conclude. So, can I ask everybody to think about the spiritual world and try to make your personal idea what is your perfection after a short practice, after a long practice. Usually what we do, I ask you to, can you please write down for yourself, what's your two, 1, 2, 3 goals that you attain. That it's 22 by 2032, by year 32. By year 32, when I start chanting, I have 20 tears in round 2, 20 ecstatic tears flowing from my eyes from the second round, and in the 5th round I enter Lalita Kund to the north of Radha Kund, and we discuss how to make garlands for Radharani, for example. I'm half joking. Sorry, it's not a joking matter, but something what you want to attain in your spiritual life. In your spiritual life, also, if you have some spiritualizable goal, like I have created 3 temples around, 3 communities around Simhachalam, built also 1 small temple in Paso, 2 big temples in Paso and 1 in between, so that people can stop on the way to Simhachalam. So something for 10 years, something for 2 years, and something for 2 months.
Always 3 or like
No, 1, 2, 3, several goals if you can think. Something in your spiritual life, something in your practice. How would you, as specific as possible? Don't say improve japa, but say how you would like to improve your japa. That I become focused by round 5. I enter trance by round 3, or I chant without moving. I finish 16 rounds by 10, or whatever is how you would like to improve, right? Is there something you would like to improve in your relationships? That 3 people smile to me in one day and say that I'm okay. So 2, 3 goals for 10 years, 2 years, and 2 months.
Okay.
Now, can I request you to maybe turn to a friend or a neighbor, to get some pair, and get some. Maybe you can mention one of your goals that you would like blessings for. Any of these, 2 months, 2 years, or 10 years. Yeah, tell them like in 2 years I would like to have tears, ecstatic tears, sprinkling from my eyes, starting from round 3 of japa, and during the kirtan I'm at least 3 centimeters above the floor, levitating. So that's my goal for the next, after 2 years, by year 2024, June the 12th. So can you please give your kind blessings that I make my way to this spiritual advancement? Something like this, like whatever. Or build one temple, 465 square meters with golden domes, using at least 5 kilos of gold for the gold plating on the top. I mean, as specific as possible, and whatever is your. And please say, Prabhu, can you please give me your good wishes and blessings?